What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to the Diamond Kingdom. It's the Diamond Lion, and today we are going to be building an automatic zombie spawner. Now, what this is it's going to entail a little bit of luck and a little bit of exploration on your part first. But once you've done that part, it is pretty much fully automatic. So we're going to go over that in today's video. So we're going to get all the supplies. That is the number one thing we are going to do today. So we are going to need some buckets. And preferably, I would say two, because you might need an automatic water source, of, what is that called? Infinite water source. So it's just easier to do that with the infinite water source method, right? So you got that. After that, you are going to need a couple of different items. So I'm going to grab some of that real quick. You're going to need some slabs. You're going to need some ladders. You're also going to need, do we have any trapdoors? You're also going to need some trapdoors. So I am actually going to grab some extra wood because we are going to need trapdoors for this. So slabs, ladders, trapdoors. There's none in here. And we're going to need some chests. So yes, so we're going to grab that too. I think that's what we need over here. Yeah, so what we're going to do is actually we're going to need some different things. So let me start to build up what we're going to need. So like I said, you've got the chests. You need a couple of chests because you're going to need to turn them into hoppers. Okay, so we're going to need only one hopper for today, which does make this build slightly easier. What we're also going to need is to convert this over, and we're going to make ourselves some trapdoors. And I believe that's all you really need. This is a fairly easy build. It's not super intense or complicated. Like I said, the hardest part of this whole build today is going to be finding the actual zombie spawner. Now, this also works for skeletons. That is the only other spawner that you could use this system for. And I've made videos with my skeleton spawner already, but I figured for some of you guys, if you're looking up a zombie spawner, you want to see a zombie spawner. So we're going to do the same thing today, but just for the zombies. So let's head over to our spot. It's kind of a pain in the neck to get to. It's kind of like in the middle of my woods area. There we go. So this is the end product. You're going to want to have something where it's easy to access. I recommend doing something similar to this because you could drop down and then you fall right in just like that, right? So that's kind of what you're looking at. Now, I did cheat a little bit. Shh, don't tell anybody, guys. I did cheat a little bit. I started the main part of this because this part does take a little while. You're going to want a couple of blocks up. I would prefer four blocks above the spawner, three blocks below the spawner, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. It has to be 4 blocks this way. Okay, so 4, 4, 4, 4. The reason for that is these water buckets, if you put a water bucket in each corner, you should have something like this, where everything's going to funnel right over here. So that's the first step. Now the next step we're going to do, so we are going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just like that. So we're going to go 10 blocks down. Now it doesn't have to be 10 blocks down, but I would say that is what I would recommend. Like I said, you don't have to do 10. It doesn't affect the whole thing. Ooh, diamonds. Hello. Um, it doesn't affect how the spawner actually works, but you also don't want to be too far where the spawner will not work. So if you go like 60 blocks down, that will be a problem for the obvious reason that the spawner will no longer function, and we don't want that, right? So that is something to consider. Um, yes, so what we're going to do here, actually, of course there's gravel there. We're going to have to clean this out anyway, and you're definitely going to need to give yourself some room. You're going to need probably a decent pickaxe just to kind of do all your dirty work. So that's that. Now what we're going to do, I really want to keep this nice, but now we got that there. So what we're going to do is something like this. And now this is where the slabs come in. Because now what you could do is you could sneak, right? And you could just hit them right here. And they're not going to be able to hit you back. So that's actually really important to have that ability. So I definitely recommend having the slabs right there, right around this. And that is what it should look like. And hopefully you guys can get a pretty good idea from here just what it looks like. Alright, so there you go. So I gave you guys a second. And if you needed more time, you could go back and pause it. But I think you guys should be good. Now, this is why I specifically said 10 as well. There's another reason for that. Because now, let's say you have, most of you will have the ability to at least have 10 ladders. If you go 10 blocks down, now you're going to need 10 ladders to do this next step, which is we are going to make a little ladder going up as like a utility area into our spawner. And the obvious reason for that is if you want to potentially like do maintenance on it or anything like that, you're gonna need the ability to get down here. So that is kind of the mindset there, and now you've got an easy access just like that. And then of course they spawn, they funnel down into there, and perfect. I've had so many problems with this before. That is something to consider. I've had a lot of issues with this, so I don't know if this is something with the game in particular, but yeah, it's not the most useful. It's more so like if you're right here and you're just gonna pop, take these torches out or put torches in. It's not supposed to be something you're really crawling around in your kill zone. Okay, so that's that, and that's it for this actual spawning. I mean, like I said, this is supposed to be a nice, easy build. If you're early in your world, you're just trying to pick up your freaking XP, that is what this is for. And there are literally diamonds right over us. That is sweet. So, we're not dealing with diamonds right now, though. See, that's how it works. Usually when you're not looking for diamonds, that's when you're going to find diamonds. So, that's a little tip for you. Now, I wanted to do this on purpose. So this is what happens. You got to keep in mind when you're doing this, you want to make sure you give yourself enough room. And the meaning for that is if you don't break enough blocks out of your little spawn area, this is going to happen. You need to give yourself enough room. So you gotta ideally give yourself, I think it's because you got to remember, if this is the center of the spawner, right, you have to go 1, 2, 3, that's 4. So that's the end of it, and then 5 I would recommend going. And it looks like we already have a little area here, which is good and bad. Am I on? Okay, good. I was nervous I was on peaceful. It's like, shouldn't be on peaceful. Okay. So there we go. Now another thing I will also recommend, just to increase the spawn rate, I would recommend having torches in the area, because it's gonna, not that it really makes a huge difference, but it's enough of a difference where if you want maximum efficiency, you do want to kind of close that area off, and that way you make sure that you've got a ton of spawning going directly into that area, and that's kind of what you want to focus on. And so that is what we're looking at there. I'm worried I'm going to hit something I shouldn't. I think we're okay. The only thing is I'm trying to find our area here. I guess what I could do, if I wanted to, is kind of build something similar to this, just a little bit further down. So we're just going to keep going. I'm slightly nervous because I think that this just goes straight down at some point. Maybe not. Shoot. I should have gave myself more ladders. So there you go. So now this is our kill area. And this is going to be really helpful for when you're actually like sitting down here. Like again, this is all recommendations. Take with it what you will. But you have to remember this is an AFK area. So you're likely going to be sitting here for potentially 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, 60 minutes. Make sure this area is enclosed, because you do not want to die. You don't want to go get your Taco Bell, come back, and oh, bleep, my character is dead. What happened, right? You gotta make sure there is no possibility that you can die, right? So I strongly recommend closing in your area, just like we did here, and voila, now we are set up. We got everything going for this sort of farm. I'm gonna close this entire area just as a precaution. It doesn't really matter, but it's all preference. So that's right there. So we got that. Okay, so now what we need to do, the next step, which is now actually activating our spawner. And pardon this whole disgusting staircase. This is an atrocity, but this is the tutorial, right? I want to show you guys how to actually do the project here. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to head back to our spot that we were, somewhere over here. And, okay, yeah, so this is our spot. I recommend taking out, I recommend taking out the stairs, but waiting on the ladders until you're, like, out. So let's do something like this, because I think this will work better. This is a good way to test how good your thing is in the middle. So be prepared to do what you need to do, because they are going to start spawning. So we got to be probably quicker than I just was, because that's going to happen, and I'm going to die with 29 XP, I think. Oh my god. I do not like that. I do not like that at all. Oh my god. Whew. I think we got away with one. Thank god this is not a skeleton spawner. Let's just put it that way. So just like that, there you go. You can see they spawn really quickly. So you really want to make sure you're on your game with this, because they're going to start spawning in rather quickly. So that is it for the actual building process. Now I want to show you guys the result. What does it look like, Diamond Lion? What is the end result of this beautiful masterpiece? So there you go. This is what you're going to end up seeing. You're going to see a bunch of little zombie feats, and that's how you know that this is working properly, just like that. And you might see them carrying stuff, and then usually you want to let this sit for probably like 5-10 minutes, and just kind of start whacking them. And it does take a little while. It's not the perfect system, but you have to remember, if you're in earlier in the game, you don't have redstone, you don't have pistons, you don't have nether quartz or anything like that. Keep it as simple as possible, and usually that's the most effective way of doing things. And if you're looking for a ton of rotten flesh, not sure why you need a ton of rotten flesh, maybe to feed your dog army, but other than that, not much you could really use with it. But this is a really efficient way to kill zombies in Minecraft. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, anything like that, I'm open to listening to what you guys have to say. I really appreciate your guys' comments. You guys seem to be enjoying the farm videos, so I really appreciate that. I'm really hoping you guys continue to watch the videos and enjoy them. I'm kind of rebooting the channel here, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoy it. It sounds like you guys are, and I'm going to keep pumping out the content that you guys seem to respond to, and the videos you seem to like. So, like I always say, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again next time. Peace out, guys.